hope y'all can see me good. Hey y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, guys. Come on in, come on in. Hey y'all, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Please click like when you come in and share this to someone. We're going to talk briefly tonight. Please click like when you come in and share this video with someone. We are going to talk briefly tonight. Hey guys, hey y'all. I hope everybody had a great day today. That's right. That's right. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna give everybody time to load in. Please help me share this video. As you all know, I am shadow banned to hell. They ain't gonna let me do right, y'all. It looks like only a few people watching, but it could be 4,000 people watching. Who knows? Anyway, please click like when you come in and give this a quick share so that I can get started. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, Omega Red. Hey, Chief Basketball. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Drabos. Hey, The Ethers. Hey, CO. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Copper Colored Capricorn. Okay. Y'all got some hell of a names on here. Okay. God damn, where y'all get these names from? Root Doctress presents. Hey, Ready to Learn. Hey, Cuco. Hey, Indigenous Heirs. Hey, Stephen King. How are you today? How are y'all doing today? Hey, Frieza. Hey, DMV. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Black Forever. Hey, Water for My Mind. Do anybody remember what Chief said about our ancestors' land in relation to probate? I found some documents of my elder estate being taken over by probate the same year she passed. It's probably being held at probate because that's where the land files are held, at probate court. Which is great that you found that. So it should be relatively easy to go reclaim that, especially it being, if you can trace yourself back to that ancestor. You see who you said it was. You said it just your elder. Yeah, it shouldn't be difficult. Hey Jessica, I think I spoke to you. Hey Zoo. Hey Valerie. Hey Taino. Hey Taino. We got some Tainos in the building. Hey Taj. Hey Roy. Hey Cherokee Bella. Hey Irvin. Hey Eternal Beauty. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey. Hey Copper Colored Chalk Goddess. I love it. Hey Neek. You hung up on me the other night, Neek. Hey American Battery. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Click like when you come in. Hey Golden Amethyst. I love that. Golden Amethyst. Speaking of amethyst, y'all know y'all not supposed to charge y'all amethyst in the sun, right? I saw somebody charging their amethyst in the sun. I was like, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Click like when you come in. I'm going to get started here in a minute. Roy. I can clearly hear myself. Yes, catching a live finally. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Chief Janice, I put that PhD back in the box, sat down in the front row, and took out pen and paper. I love that. I love that. That's very honorable. We're in this together, y'all. It's no big me and little yous. We're in this together. I'm right here. I'm right here, right in the fight with you all. Right in the fight. Trust me. Right in the fight. Let me share that I'm live really quickly on IG. Let me share that I'm live really quickly on IG so that I can get started here. I'm not going to keep y'all long tonight. This is going to be an introduction. I'm going to go over some things here relatively quickly on the direction of this series. And we're going to get started here. Come on in. Keep coming in. Keep coming in. Keep coming in. Come on. IG load up. There we go. Let me share that I'm live really quickly so I can put this link out. I really should just go live from this phone, which I might do. Let's see. I am live. I'm live on YouTube. Live on YouTube. Okie dokie, y'all. Come on in. Keep coming in. Please help me share. Please click like when you come in, please. So more people can come. It's more people viewing than the likes that I have. Tap in. All right. Let me share this link really quickly. And that's that on that. That is that on that. Let's see. Keep clicking like so that people can come in. I'm nowhere near the algorithm right now. Nowhere near it. But we will be in just a second here. I'll share this on IG. And I may go live from YouTube. From Facebook. Okay. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you are new to this channel, I am Chief Janice. Some of you have known me for a long time. Some of you are very new. As you probably have noticed, my channel is pretty controversial as I talk about history topics, very uncomfortable history topics, which makes me seem a bit of a racist. Anytime a person talks about history in the manner that I talk about it, an unfiltered, unsugar-coated type manner, it makes a person look a bit racist. Okay? Think what you like. I ain't gonna stop you from thinking nothing you like to think. Think what you like. Let's see. Let me do something real quick. Should I go live on Facebook? I kind of need this phone. I may be on Facebook for a little while. I may go live on Facebook just for a little while. Just for a little while. Yeah. Just for a little while. It's 478 other people live on Facebook right now. Interesting. Let me see. I'll get them to come over to YouTube eventually. As I was saying, let me get this out of your view. Out of the main view. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Load on in. As I was saying, if you're new to my videos, I am a history teacher. I teach history and I tie history into current events. That's what you'll basically learn here on this channel. It's a solution-based channel. But sometimes it can get a bit controversial. I'm not sure if you all have been paying attention. But hey, hey, Facebook. I'm going to be live here on Facebook for a little while, and then I'm going to have everybody come over to YouTube. So if you are here on Facebook, I'm going to have everybody to come over to YouTube here soon. I'm not going to be long tonight, but I do want to talk to you all. If you've been paying attention, the dynamic live that I did on Sunday was taken down. I tried to upload that live 4 times. You all saw 3 times. I edited it 3 times. And that still wasn't good enough for YouTube. That wasn't the only live that I've done that's been taken down. Quite a few of my lives have been taken down. And the live in particular from Sunday, the Solution Sundays live, I thought was pretty dynamic because of the subject matter. Of course, history is a tough conversation to talk about without sounding biased or racist. But just like any multimedia platform like YouTube, there are sections of each of these platforms. My section, the people who listen to me are interested in history and tying history into current events. They don't generally care about stuff being sugar-coated because they aren't kindergartners. My videos are not made or suitable for children. Parental discretion is advised. So if you want your children to listen to it, fine with me. I think children should listen to some unfiltered history. I'd rather me use profanity while teaching the actual truth of the matter, than to have children being used profanity as it relates to cleaning up their room. Children hear profanity all day, but that's not the subject. That's not the point. Point is, YouTube deleted my video 4 times after me editing literally everything out, guys. Now, the same talking points that I had on Sunday, especially as it relates to thanking Biden in advance for releasing reparations for the Negroes of America, and how he swiftly released reparations for the Asian communities after those 3.5 people got shot at, not being insensitive, but after they got shot up here at this sex shop in Atlanta, reparations were released. Now, those talking points that I had from Sunday, people have been just repeating those almost verbatim, using the same profanity. I didn't make up any new cussing words or nothing. The same pictures that I was using, people were using it Monday and Tuesday and still are using it today. Today is Wednesday. But for some reason, my video, after me editing everything out, guys, was still deleted. They didn't strike my channel because they really don't have a reason to delete that video, other than the fact that they just didn't want it on their platform, and which is a bit unfair because, see, YouTube and I are partners. See, we have a business partnership, and when I put my intellectual content out, my intellectual creative content out, it ain't to be deleted because YouTube also makes money from it. Now, YouTube said they want their community, my content on Sunday was not sensitive enough for their community. However, it was perfect for my community. There's multiple communities on here. There's also a gun community on YouTube. So I don't understand the deleting of my video from Sunday. Perhaps it was because I was telling the Negroes of America to protect themselves. Perhaps it was because I was telling the Negroes of America that this whole race war that's going on is about land, and then I proceeded to read the manifesto. Now, the manifesto that the murderer had, okay? I even edited that out, guys. I tried to reload it. I edited everything out. I did what someone suggested on here, to edit it out, upload it on private. I did that. Even with me uploading it on private, I got one view from a YouTube staffer, and the video was deleted. So with tonight's video, I'm going to do an introduction of American Saints, because this topic, this subject matter, is also a very sensitive subject matter. And before I put all of my intellectual property online, I want to make sure that I'm on a platform that's protecting it, not deleting it after I spend all of my time creating it. Okay? Any super chats from Sunday, I don't even know where they are. Guys, I don't know. Perhaps they'll steal it like they stole a lot of other money. Perhaps they'll give it to me. I have no clue. All I know is YouTube and I are in a partnership. I've already filed this shit on my taxes. Ain't no such thing as deleting my goddamn content when I put it up. So I want to make sure before I put my intellectual property on YouTube, especially with everybody sharing the same clips that I share from Sunday, with the same talking points and the same cursing words, I want to make sure that I get an understanding with YouTube. That being said, tonight's video is an introduction to my next series called American Saints. In this American Saints series, I will go through some very sensitive subject matters. Some of these subject matters are violent, as these saints were victims of religious sacrifices. In today's racial climate, I'm here to make sure that the murders that are happening around us aren't religious sacrifices. In my research, I've noticed that quite a few people who we deem as saints today were military leaders, chiefs, and kings who were victims of religious sacrificing. And in this series, I will tie these stories in to how we are currently unprotected as it relates to us on our own homeland, and why these saints were lining the coasts of America in their temples, strategically placed. Today, we call some of these places ports. It just so happened we ain't running under the ports. So on the topic of heirs property, it's wide open for the whole world to come explore, possibly run plays, and possibly create more religious killings, if you will. This is a very sensitive subject matter. Some of these saints were in very popular and populous places today that we call cities. Some of these same saints that we see the Catholic Church passing around is very crucial, because the Catholic Church is coming, the Pope is coming to America to apologize for their role in the murders of American Indians. But I want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of the Catholic Church role in these religious murders, because some of the saints that they hold high today in the windows and the mezzanines of their churches and their temples were American Indian. There are underwater structures that I will also show on here, lining the coasts of America. That ties right in to canonization of indigenous people of America. To make someone a saint means to murder them and canonize them. Canonization. Okay. Now, I will also get into, as I talk about these saints, I will also get into how heirs property tie into this today. I was speaking about the shooting in Buffalo on Sunday. I know some of you saw that, and some of you were able to catch the replay. Hopefully some of you were able to catch the replay before YouTube removed it 4 times. I went and pulled up the heirs property records in Buffalo, New York, all of those that I could find. And being that the very well spoken, very educated murderer went to that isolated area in New York with a manifesto in tow, with the first line of that manifesto mentioning land, I wanted to make sure that that wasn't a religious murder that took place, especially with his many accompanists around that Buffalo area, holding people hostage in various situations, as I showed on Sunday, with that religious flag flying in their profiles. I come to the conclusion that that shooting was to destabilize that area, an area that had already been destabilized via making it a food desert. That's step 1. Step 2 is to spike the crime rate by any means necessary to spook the people off of their heirs' property, and that's called, my friends, abandonment. That area in New York is very popular in the commodities market for something called Herkimer diamonds. Now, I'm sure some of you heard me say Herkimer diamonds before, as it relates to New York. A lot of the diamonds that are laced in jewelry stores today are not from raw diamonds. They're Herkimer diamonds. These Herkimer diamonds are mined and they're already polished looking. So they already have this lattice in them, and that means less work for the jeweler versus the rough, more expensive diamonds that you find in the South Appalachia region or in South Georgia, in places like Arizona and places like California and such. Places where volcanoes and ancient volcanoes have erupted, and you have these ley lines and such. On these ley lines, you usually have a higher propensity to find diamonds in these regions. Rough stones that the jeweler have to then turn into diamonds. Although they're more expensive, the Herkimer diamond just makes it more popular. So I want to make sure that this murder that happened, senseless murder that happened in Buffalo, wasn't to destabilize those residents, to scare them away, so that that land can be mined. See, our the people who plan these things, they don't plan them in like a year. So it's not like that area can be destabilized and then they'll go in 6 months and start mining it. That's not how, historically, that's not how it happens. Historically, these areas are stripped of resources, destabilized with organized violence, as we witnessed this weekend. And in years, the land is slowly deemed contaminated. It is slowly deemed eminent domain. And then it is slowly deemed mineable for big corporations who want in on the money. A lot of times you have these big corporations who were also the curators of these religious murders. I'm here to tell you all tonight, those of you with heirs property, I'm here to tell you all tonight to keep your eyes on the land. Elodios, eyes on the land. Facebook, I am going to end this and go to YouTube. Please go to YouTube, my YouTube channel. I'm going to end this here because I need to use this phone, if you don't mind. I love y'all. Come right over to YouTube and I will see you over there. Okay, I love y'all. Pandora, Carla, Ronald, Fletcher, Carl. Hey, Carl. Keena, Primetime. Hey, Primetime. Wilmore Reed. What you doing over here, Wilmore Reed? You supposed to be on YouTube. Hey, Shirley. Come to YouTube, guys. I love y'all. So, I'm going to start by briefly. YouTube got me shadow banned. Facebook got me shadow banned. IG got me shadow banned. Y'all have no clue how my y'all have no clue how foul this is. Like, this is very much foul. Okay, I want to read to y'all really quickly something that I saw in the etymology of saint. Of course, I'm looking at the noun, okay, on the Etymon website. It says holy, divinely inspired, worship, or are worthy of worship, used before proper names, like Saint Marian Magdalene, from Old French saint, sainti, holy, pious, devout, from Latin sanctus, holy, consecrated, past participle of saint seer. You all know what a seer is. Consecrated, sacred, it displaced or altered Old English sanct, which is directly from Latin sanctus. So there you go. Old English and Latin is one of the same, and a lot of your ancestors spoke this OE language, and it's still spoken in the South. In this series, I'm going to get into someone called Saint Peter. I told y'all I was looking for Peter. I'm going to get into someone called Sankt Peter. This Sankt Peter, without getting too deep, because this is just an introduction, had a, and this is the old E version. Now you got to think, these saints, as this history was moved around, everybody told their own little story of the same person. Saint Peter is probably a whole nother different story. But they tie right in together. The time frames and everything tie right in together. Sankt Peter, same thing. Sankt Peter, S-A-N-C-T, is OE story, the Old English and the Latin story of Saint Peter. One of these Peters had a military force. This regime of military men and women, if you will, were known for hiding inside of trees during battle. There's another military force that came out of the Timken territory and Swift Creek, which is lower South Georgia territory. They were known for hiding inside of marshes during battle. So each of these military leaders, these saints who were murdered and canonized, were military leaders, if you will. And they had to be some of the toughest military leaders because they lined your America and protected it from invaders coming in. Peter is one of the people that I will get more in depth with in this series. Sankt Peter, Simon, if you will, lined the coast on what I deem to be the east coast of America. Now, there are saints literally all around the coast. There is a Saint Cyr that's a surname down near the Emerald Coast. Saint Cyr is the past participle of saint. Now, how did Saint Cyr become a Negro surname? I know a Negro family with that surname today. Literally. Their surname means saint. They're a whole full Negro family out of Louisiana, expanding into West Florida. That being said, I'll also get into, let me go back to Saint Peter. Saint Peter and his Simon Knowles, his Simonides, depending on which language you want to say, were known for, their military tactics of fighting people from trees. This military tactic was used all the way up until now. In fact, our army had to get it from somewhere. Now, the forts that Saint Peter and these other military leaders who were murdered and turned into saints, their forts became military bases to this day. Look at a map, pull up a map of all old forts, which I will be doing here on this series, and I'll show you that these forts are now military bases. Now, I also mentioned in one of my earlier lives that the Seminoles, uh, you can almost guess what I'm about to say. The Seminoles, the undefeated Seminoles, was probably tied right into Sankt Peter, and by the end of this, you will understand why I have this mentality and what I found as it relates to underwater structures, as it relates to the blighting of chestnut trees, intentional blighting of chestnut trees from the east coast of America, and the canonization of a Peter who spent a lot of time in a place called South Carolina. Another saint that I will be talking about is Donna Maria. Donna Maria was a Seminole chief, or chieftainess, if you will, queen, or whatever female name you want to use. She was over a military. Her homeland was the west coast of Florida. It's that her story is hidden in the Timken files that I'll be pulling up during this series. Saint Donna Maria, in my opinion, which I'll show you what I'm thinking, and let you be the judge. You could probably call this a theory. I can't find a better theory than this one, especially due to the underwater structures that I'll also show you that was in her territory that have been rediscovered recently. Saint Maria was the military leader who went from the west coast of Florida all the way up to the Okefenokee Swamp into the east coast. Into the coast of Georgia and the coastal regions of Florida. The west coast. So she went from the west coast of Florida, diagonal through Florida, to the east coast of Florida and the east coast of Georgia, back and forth, patrolling a certain territory. Okay, this saint, in her story, it says that she was the one who allowed the Spanish to come in and explore. Okay, she allowed the Spanish explorers to come in. My theory is that she was canonized by the Spanish and turned into Santa Maria. Canonized means murdered. She is worshipped today. Now, when I show you the names along the trail that she was over, you'll understand exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. Now, I'm not sure why this is hidden from people in Florida. I'm not sure why this is hidden from people in Georgia, South Carolina. But it was a reason why we was undefeated up into the Civil War. And it's a reason why you are tracked today over this heirs property. It's a reason why you're the only one talking about heirs property. You're the only one in the conversation. All of the videos, all of the documents that the USDA released, these are all about you. Why is that? There's no such thing as there was a civil war and just all of a sudden Negroes in the South had millions of acres of land. No. Negroes in the South had millions of acres of land before the Civil War. In fact, the Civil War, we lost land. That's the first time we got defeated. And we really wasn't even defeated then, because our boys pulled out in 1863 and left the little white boys out there to fight and a few Negroes out there to fight. First Georgia First Georgia Regiment. I don't know why this is hidden from the world. You have to dig into the files on Fold 3. The 1st Georgia Regiment was a full Choctaw regiment. The 1st Georgia Regiment of the Confederate. Full Choctaw Regiment. Why is that hidden? Why are these tribes hidden amongst these names? Why are these stories reversed and turned upside down? Why no one mentioned these saints that was here in America? If you mention the saints that was here in America, you didn't have to mention their homelands. You have to mention their commodities. And why them? Out of all the people, why them? Why were they turned into saints? Why were their descendants sent running for cover during Reconstruction? Why during Reconstruction their descendants had to relearn in order to not be murdered? They had to relearn the story. They had to diminish who they were. They knew they were kings. They knew they were royal. There was a war document made about them, murdering them. We call it the Holy Bible, worthy of worship. Sanctus. Why was that? This series ties you back to these people who they're still holding on the pedestal today. This series ties you back to the agencies who literally track you today. I'm not talking to all of you because I'm not sure who's all watching. I'm talking to the Negroes of America, those of us who they keep changing the name and moving the goalpost on us. That's what I'm talking about in this series. There's a reason for that. See, my generation, those of us who were born in the 80s, we don't even have a race. Why is that? Everybody else have one. It's because our parents are listed as Negroes. It's because their parents are listed as American Indians. The same American Indians from the Carlisle School. The same American Indians who had their own jurisdiction in multiple places. These Indians around these places were these saints were canonized. You can even look into Jacksonville. You can look into the West Florida. You can look into South Carolina. You can look into Louisiana. A lot of these places had saints. These places have heirs property. These places have HBCUs. Now, in these education systems, including the military systems that we had here in the South, they had their own jurisdiction when this new America was being created on them. They used these systems, if you will, to keep their own jurisdiction. They used heirs property to keep their own jurisdiction. And I probably do 3 parts of this series. And in one part of this series, I will be discussing how heirs property can protect you from becoming a saint. We've been taught everything wrong. Everything is backwards. I know for a fact because I've sung many songs about saints. I asked y'all a long time ago, where did all these saints come from? Did they come marching in? Lo and behold, they didn't come marching in. They was already there. The rivers are named after them. There are still cities with their names on them today. These are real people whose names are in records. Same American Indian records. I know they weren't pink people because their heirs property is on some HBCUs today. Those are in the middle of the hood, or what they call the hood. Somebody got to tie this together. I follow the Saint all the way up from the top of America, all the way down to Jacksonville, Florida, via Kings Road. We're going to get into all of that. I want to make sure before I put this intellectual property out, which I've already started, look like, because somebody can take what I just said and just run with it, and then they can create a whole series that's probably not going to get taken down offline. I want to make sure that when I put these findings up, that they're not deleted. I'm also going to make sure that when I put this stuff up, I will be going over some heirs property, but I'm going to make sure that I hide families' names to protect the innocent, as you all talk to your families about heirs property, about land patents, and come up with ways to protect yourself, because as you already see, I don't know if we have protection, guys. I just don't know. Especially looking at the shooting that just happened in Buffalo, I just don't know if we have protection. So that's the gist of the American Saints series. Yes, T. Dorsey, New Orleans Saints. You said it. You know, this stuff is right in our face, literally. But it is, like I said, it's up to us to put two and two together. And I've been kind of doing this research for a while on this particular subject matter. So, you know, I just want to bring my findings to the forefront so you all can look over it and see what you think about it. I think it makes perfect sense. But I want to introduce it to you all to make sure, see what you all think. You're welcome. See ya. Yes, I'm gonna tie it all together, Irvin. Yes. Now I think I told y'all I was looking for St. Peter. It's been a minute since I've been looking for St. Peter, but I think I found them. I have tied some families directly into this Peter that I found. I've also tied families directly into the person that people are calling King George. Tie people directly into him because lo and behold, he delivered land patents. Thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate you. Lo and behold, he issued some land patents on what we would call St. Peter's or St. Simon's territory. All of these things were literally reconstructed. Everything was reconstructed. Yes, ready to learn. These highways, the wording on these highways are important. You have to think before a highway is laid down. My family is in transportation, and of course, they aren't the ones who say, "Oh, we're finna lay a highway." This stuff comes from the higher ups. They just the ones that do the work. But before a highway is laid down, it's excavated. Highways are excavated. So archaeologists are on the scene when you see roads being built and when you see roads being paved. There's always archaeologists on the scene excavating different findings. They have to do that in America. America has more companies that excavate than any other country in the world. Why is this? Why? There's more stuff here to uncover. There is more stuff here to uncover. So that's that. They have to have an excavation team because they have found all kind of artifacts right before paving these roads. And when you tie the families in, it just gets interesting and it gets eerie, and it's the exact reason why the health department does your genealogy, and it's the exact reason why that list of agencies that I put out the other day, those agencies are still around. Those agencies and other agencies still very much keep track of people with heirs property to this day. So let's see. Yes, a lot of your street names, yes, still do hold history. As well as named after people. Absolutely. I have state routes named after my ancestors. I have a state route named after my granddad. My great granddad has a whole state route. Foreign genealogists are so complicit. Yeah, they are. That's another reason why we need to get our children involved in this stuff. Our nieces, our nephews. We're going to have to eventually start directing them in these, paths of history and, geology and archaeology and science. We're going to have to start directing them in these paths. I know it's like we are the culture, of course. But while we create the culture of music and dance and arts, we also can't neglect everything else that we created, that our ancestors created, And it's better that we look this stuff up than somebody else look it up, to be honest. It's better that we find out what's going on our heirs property than have visitors, if you will, do it. Because visitors come to your house and they don't take care of your house as good as you take care of it. That's why, our ports are wide open. Of course, we have a government controlling our ports, but they'll never control it how the saints, how the war leaders who were murdered and turned into saints controlled it. People will, stories will have it that, oh, these saints are from 1100 BC and all this stuff. It's not so. If you really look at it, a lot of these saints came right after the Indian Wars. It's a sad thing, but just as Operation Big Fish leads you to a lot of the hidden Indian kings, Operation American Saint will lead you to the very people that they put on a pedestal today. This spiritual war, this war of religious sacrifices and using numerology, using all kinds of stuff these weird people are doing on your landmass. It's tied into, it ties back into history, guys. They're still doing these religious wars using numerology today. Still to this day. So that's that. Just like the man building a pool found hundreds of dead ancestors. Yeah, there you go. It's all over the place, and a lot of them are underwater. They do these. This is what I was about to say. They do these religious murders, and they sanctify these people in order so that the spirit of these saints won't destroy them. So it's like they try to create their own good karma around sanctifying a person after they're canonized, worshiping a person after they're murdered, if you will. That's still happening today, guys. I don't know whether y'all paying attention. You murder a popular person or a war leader or something along those lines. And in order to stop that person's spirit from coming back to wreak havoc, you worship them like it's all good. These little fucking things are all over my video. You worship them like it's all good. You put them on a pedestal. And then you take their place and become actors. As if you're the Pope. You're coming, your acting Pope is coming to apologize for the Catho's role in the murders. There's a church in South Carolina named St. Peter. Absolutely. It's probably one of the oldest churches in South Carolina. Is it in Colton County? Jeriah. Is it in Colton County? It's a lot of real royal stuff in South Carolina when you look at it. Real royal stuff in South Carolina. Let's see what I got on here. Like I said, I wasn't gonna keep y'all on here tonight. I'm at 57 minutes right now. I promise I wasn't gonna keep y'all long. It's just an introduction. Hey love. Yeah, you gotta rewind it. I want to make sure that like I said, I'm not deleted from YouTube. If that means I don't want to pre-record this series. I want to just come on here and put myself on the screen and go over it and get y'all reaction as I go over it, because I love y'all's reaction. Plenty of churches named St. Paul, St. Peter, St. Paul right up the street from me. There you go. There you go. It's plenty. I mean, we're right in their territory. The Seminoles are undefeated, so I believe. Now, the Catholic Church does have St. Peter listed as he was only a pope in America. He wasn't a pope in multiple places. That's the initial thing that interested me in Peter. And then when I found out about, I had read a poem from Simonides, who they're saying was a poet. I had read one of his poems, and I had read a book. And in the book, it had American Indian in it. It stopped me in my tracks. And so I start digging from there. Then I start digging in South Carolina after reading something in a Wikipedia profile about one of the St. Peters. And I was like, And that's where then the whole chestnut trees came into play, with nose meaning chestnut and maroons meaning chestnut, and literally how these things were just kind of twisted a little, reconstructed in a way to hide Peter and the actual military force that Peter was running. And the undefeated military force that St. Peter was running. It's very, very interesting stuff. The Seminoles should not be deduced to chestnuts. The chestnut tree is a prop, if you will. That's what they were known for fighting out of. And also the leaves and the actual chestnut tree was also used as a magical tree as it relates to shamanism. And if you know anything about military systems, shamanism and the spiritual realm is the first line of defense for most military systems still to this day. Voodoo and voodoo, whatever you want to call it. Sound frequencies are still used on you to this day. But we'll get into all of that. Yes. Now the Mormons were initially Negroes, and then I don't know. It's a lot of stuff changed, and a lot of stuff was just kind of convoluted, and then a lot of people start taking credit, like, oh, those were the Mormons. That is not how none of this goes. But that just goes to show you how foreigners try to write their way into the story. Because they don't have a story on their own homeland that they're proud of, just like the Asians are doing now. The Native American Asians are doing now. They're trying to write their way into a story because they don't have nothing to be proud of in Asia. Because when you go in Asia, you got to talk about the dark skinned people over there. You can't be proud of that. You got to talk about how you murdered the dark skinned people over there. You can't be proud of that. You got to talk about how you stole culture. You have to talk about how you still use bleaching cream today in Asia and in Africa. You still use bleaching cream today to try to bleach out the dark genetics from your skin. We don't do stuff like that. That ain't our culture. That's why we are who we are. We're very proud people. We're very strong, proud, superior people. And it is our job to straighten out our ancestors' story and not let all these visitors on this landmass keep messing the story up, keep reconstructing the story, keep moving the goalposts every time we figure the story out. What we do know right now, what we have proved right now, just from you watching this channel, that Negroes are heirs to land in America. And it has nothing to do with somebody buying a house and dying without a will. People do that every day and don't become heirs. People do that every day and don't become heirs to property. You can tear down the house, but who own the property? Okay? You buy your house today. See, they can come take your property. See, they can come take all your stuff if you don't pay your taxes on it. That ain't how heirs property work. You know, we have to leave and you have to deem it abandoned. Okay? You have to deem it abandoned. And then years, generations after generations after you have already taken the land and turned it into a city and did whatever you want to do, then you can say, okay, well, I have a booming city here. Now I can tax these individual homes however I want to tax them. And when I want these people out, I can do a tax hike, get these people out and get a new set of people in. That's called gentrification. But before you get to all of that, it's still a group of Negroes who are attached to this land. And it's still a group of Negroes who can come back to that city, look through those land files and see whether they had a distant relative that left and the land was deemed abandoned for a city to be built on it, on heirs' property. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this introduction. Yes, absolutely, CO. Absolutely. Instead of being proud of where they are from and who they are, they'd rather just come over here and say, hey, guys, you're pretendians. I never met a pretendian with heirs property. That's one thing for certain. That's two things for sure. I've never met a pretendian with heirs property. Ain't but a group of people over here that can say, I have land to go to. I have a homeland to go to if this shit go down. One group of people. And like I said, in this series, we will discuss how you can use heirs property to protect you from canonization or becoming a saint. Becoming a saint for these weirdos who still do religious killings and numerology killings today. For whatever purposes, I don't know what chemical makeup these people have, but it is what it is. The info triggers my tripolarism. I'm proud to send it up America, guys. I said it, man, at the same time. Well, like I said, this is going to be, the next episode is next week. Like I said, I got to make sure YouTube's not going to take this down. Y'all remember the video? I'm going to show y'all this and then I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to show y'all this and I'm going to get off of here. Thank you for the super chat, Jamie, Cheap Ass Poll. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all for the super chats. I want to show y'all this and then I'm going to get off of here. Y'all remember the bees video I did that was also removed from YouTube? I want to show y'all this. Let y'all listen to this right quick. Let's see, where is it? I'll let y'all listen to this really quickly. Thank you for the super chat, dear.
So I had all this training in physics, optics, lasers. And when my aunt and uncle went through this, I was like, how can I use my background in lasers and optics? Because I was planning this career in optical communications, and I was going to revolutionize the way we receive cable and internet. And then I said, well, if a satellite in outer space can tell whether a dime on the ground is face up or face down, and if a cell phone can call anywhere on the planet and target one cell phone, even in a room full of people, why can't we treat cancer at the site of the tumor without it impacting the whole person and somebody's hair falling out? Unless you got cancer in your head, it didn't make sense to me why your hair would have to fall out. My background in physics is not the same as the training of a biologist or a chemist. And I said, this just doesn't make sense to me. There has to be a better way. So I dedicated my life to using the technology of satellites and cell phones to treat cancer.
Right. So you're in the lab.
I'm in the lab.
And
I hope y'all can hear this.
And how?
Okay, so good question. I developed a new type of what's called a nanoparticle, which is a really, really tiny particle that's harmless until you shine a laser light on it. And then it heats up because of it vibrating really fast. And it kills whatever it's touching. So the laser that I'm using is low power like a laser pointer, but it's a small beam. And because it's localized, we can target it at just the site of the tumor. And we showed complete elimination of tumors in laboratory mice after one treatment over the course of 15 days with no side effects, no chemo, no surgery, no radiation.
Wow.
Using technology.
Wow.
Eva, do you hear this?
I'm like, wow.
This is what happens when you couple black girl magic with STEM.
Come on now.
All right now.
Come on now.
And prayer and faith and divine assignment. So
Yes.
the idea for this, I have to give God the glory. This was a divine inspiration. I can't take credit for it. So when people say, you know, oh, you're going to be Oprah rich, or you could be a billionaire, this is not for me to be rich. This wasn't about me. My heart when I did this was so nobody else would have to suffer the way my family suffered. So I started a nonprofit to raise the money instead of taking money from investors so the technology could be affordable for my family, for
So,
my
Dr.
community.
Boom. Like, what was that?
I was sent that yesterday. I'm very familiar with this young lady, Nicole. She's a Negro woman. I think she's a Negro. I need to find out whether she's a full nigga or not. Now that I think of it. I remember when she first came out with laser technology to cure cancer. That was around, seems like it was around 2017. That interview is from 2020. But what I remember her by, I remember her personally because my accountant reached out to her when she was looking to raise money in order to bring this laser to cancer treatment to fruition. We were going to invest. So I remember very vividly the laser technology that she came out with in order to cure cancer. That video right there is something very different. See, what I was talking about in the beads video that was deleted was these nanoparticles. Now, when she came up with that technology, I don't remember ever hearing her say anything about nanoparticles. I remember the laser to cancer. I don't remember the laser to nanoparticles to cancer that she just said on this thing. Why is that important? That's 2020. She got funding from somewhere. This nanoparticle technology was developed in the 80s. These nanoparticles are all around us. She said she's using. satellites, from cell phones. And whatever these nanoparticles touch, once you put a beam on it, it destroys anything in sight, including cancer. Cancer is just a clump of cells. Now, the reason she said it's not dangerous, but the reason this is dangerous is because these nanoparticles are all in our atmosphere. As long as we have radiation around us, coming from our computers, coming from our cell phones, coming from whatever the case is, 5G technology. And I got 2 5G technologies. As long as we have these things around us, these nanoparticles can float. They can be powered. What does this mean? In the B series, I got into how nanoparticles was used in the, what can I call it? The COVID-19 thing that they put in your arm. And when a direct energy weapon, if you will, or a radio frequency ID B's algorithm, if you will, shoots a beam at it, it becomes spiked, if you will, which spikes the blood cells and drains the fluid out, and then clumps the blood cells that are now deflated and turns into blood clots. That video was deleted. Somebody sent me this on TikTok with this young lady explaining that anything the nanoparticles touch, now what happens if I got a swab and there's nanoparticles on the swab? Because y'all don't know which nanoparticles is which. What happens if I got a swab and these nanoparticles on the swab, and then I swab you with it? Then I shoot a direct energy weapon at you. We're going to call it a laser. That's all it is, a laser. Then what happens when those nanoparticles start moving? What are they going to destroy? Are they in my brain looking for cancer cells? They can differentiate a cell. Someone sent me that video, and I just said Sunday. There have been so many aneurysms. There is an aneurysm spike. I've seen so many aneurysms just out of the blue, people falling to their death. Out of the blue. What happens if I swab you and I shoot a direct energy weapon at you? What happens? She just said everything is destroyed. If you live here in Metro Atlanta, direct energy weapons are made in Cobb County in Marietta, Georgia. I said that on my video Sunday. They deleted it. It's made in Marietta, Georgia. Any kind of drone you can think of with any kind of laser beam on it that you can think of. Marietta, Georgia. Check it for yourself. Do your own research. Now, who is being destroyed in this COVID war? Because there are also pretty little pills that are being given to our community. That are being given to our community with nanoparticles on the outside of the pills. They're pressed up on the outside of the pills. Who's being given this technology? This young lady who's been in the field. I don't know where Nicole works at right now. I don't know where she is. Like I said, I was just sent this video. I had lost contact. I didn't know whether she was somewhere across seas. It's been a minute ago since my accountant and I tried to invest. That was, like I said, like 2016, 2015, whenever she first came out. Now, we have to be careful with all of this stuff. We have to be careful that our creations aren't turned into weapons. Now, I know she didn't create nanoparticles. I know she didn't create lasers either. I don't know whether she is the face of this shit or what at this point. I know the Germans created this nanotechnology in the late 80s. She probably was a baby in the late 80s because she is my age. I was born in 84. I think she and I are the same age. Except my degree is in science, her degree is in another discipline. That's why I was interested in the first place. But we have to be very careful not to be the face. She could be military as far as I know. I don't know. All I know is a lot of people are falling dead still to this day. A lot of people are having aneurysms and they're saying, oh, it's unexplained. We don't know why people are having aneurysms. We don't know why people are having blood clotting issues and falling to their death. All I know is my bees video was taken offline for no reason at all. And that was my intellectual property from my research that I conducted on this subject matter as a person with a science degree. As a person who see nanoparticles float all through the air. These things are flammable, guys. I've caught plenty of these nanoparticles and set fire to them. They're flammable. These aren't regular dust particles. It's just called dust particle technology. They're nanoparticles. And as long as you have radiation around, they can be powered. Just like the girl said on the goddamn video. That's now circling or making its rounds around TikTok. I don't know why somebody would do this to us. I don't know why nobody, I don't know. But all I know is a lot of heirs, a lot of Negro Americans, elderly Negro Americans who knew the truth, scared to say the truth. They saw it. They saw murder happen around them that made them scared to say the truth. I know a lot of them were slaughtered. I never forgive whoever did this shit. I never forgive you. Not me. Maybe another Negro will forgive you. I never forgive the people who was behind this shit. It's gonna always be smoke with me. You don't even have to, I don't wait for no full moon, I don't wait for no new moon, I don't wait for none of that shit. It's gonna always be smoke with me. You're gonna always have to watch yourself. You're gonna always have to pop melatonin pill in order to close your motherfucking eyes. Whoever was behind this. Few names that I've already dealt with, I don't even see them people around no more. They're probably in a bunker somewhere or in the upper room for the murder that was committed on the Negro community. I never forget you. You could put a nigga face out in front to talk about this technology and to pretend like it's hers when I know it's not hers. I've done extensive research on these nanoparticles. I know it's not hers. She didn't create no fucking nanoparticles. She didn't have money to create these laser technologies in 2017. She probably studied it. She probably knew the mechanism that lasers could be used to destroy cancers. Name me a nigga that got money to build lasers. This is a billion-dollar technology that's created by armies. Unless you're a high-ranking Army official or Air Force official, there's no way she could afford to do it. Because she didn't have money in 2016 to get the shit done. Or was it 2017? Whenever it was, there's no way. They got a nigga out in front talking about this technology as if it's some black girl magic. Y'all be careful. Cause everybody who look like us, this damn show ain't us. And I liked Nicole. But after seeing that video, nanoparticles are very harmful. Lasers are all around us. Radiation, satellites are all around us. That's all I got to say. I wish that B video was still up. They won't let me put it back up. Just like they won't let me put the one back up from the other day. Although I edited, I ain't even had nothing wrong in the B video. There was no graphic material. I was teaching. There was nothing. I didn't make up no new cuss words. I didn't make up no new words. I didn't do nothing. I said COVID in the video, but I edited it out. But people say COVID all the time on YouTube. People say that all the time on YouTube. There's one guy on here, Ducey, Jake Ducey, I think that's his name. He's always making videos about the vaccines and COVID, and he get 3 million views on his video. Nobody ever says anything about how he does his commentary. He always talk about this is fake, this is fake, this is... But he white. You know, maybe I need another platform. I don't want to put this series out and then it get deleted. Because that B video, that B's algorithm video should have never been deleted. It could have saved a lot of people. It could have brought a lot of awareness to this subject matter. My mom just had a friend that dropped dead last Sunday. Aneurysm. Healthy lady. People don't have aneurysms out of the blue. That's not common. But if they got nanoparticles in them, yes, a laser shot at them. Shot right at their head. It's going to destroy anything in sight. If they took a pill that got nanoparticles around it, and now the nanoparticles are in their system, with that laser shot at it, destroy everything in sight. Y'all, you at war. This shit ain't cute. Ain't shit sweet. This ain't no drill. This ain't no crisis actor situation, nigga. People are dropping dead still. Everybody who didn't get their lung burst in the hospitals via those ventilators, they still falling dead. Don't let nobody just prescribe your parents no more pills. Don't let nobody prescribe your aunties and uncles no more pills. Because they got nanoparticles on them. And if they just got to have a pill, always dissolve one of the pills in water to see how it dissolves. If there are particles at the bottom of that shit, throw the whole bottle away. Make sure that thing dissolves all the way. Okay? You got to stop this slaughter. Okay? I ain't no here just talking for the sake of damn talking. There's plenty of shit I could be doing. If your family got issues, heart issues, health issues, wean them off of these pills some kind of way. Dissolve these pills in water before you take them. Get you a glass so you can see what's in that thing. It's technology in this stuff. Guys. And they're wiping the airs out. And I'd be damned if I be destroyed this lifetime. I'd be damned. I'd be damned if I be destroyed this lifetime. We're not finna keep cycling through life and we're the ones that's destroyed on our own property. That ain't how this shit finna happen. That's not how this shit is about to happen. Now that this generation, now that we know the truth, now that we know the truth, these are crimes against humanity. This nanotechnology was never supposed to be released to the public. Never. This is nuclear medicine. These medicines make you human combust. That's exactly what Bill Gates was talking about in his 2010 TED Talk. Human combustion. I was supposed to get upset. I wasn't even really supposed to talk about this tonight. I was just letting y'all know, for the sake of my videos staying up on YouTube, I may have to move to another platform. I don't know how I'm gonna move all y'all. I may come up with it. I may release an email list so y'all can sign up to the email list so y'all can know where I'm gonna be going live at. Cause I don't want to keep releasing information and then having it repeated by other people, and the other people's videos get to stay up, and the other people's videos get to have hundreds of thousands of views. And I said the shit, but my video got deleted. Because I don't want to do the research on the subject matter to put two and two together. For those of you who are new, the passion that I have about property, I've already been through the ranks of every form of activism that you can think of. Okay? I concluded that this stuff is about property, land. I've already put 10,000 people in the street here in Atlanta doing marches. I don't do marches no more. I don't do rallies no more. I was that kind of activist. I created an app called Justice Now that got my door kicked in by the police. And the app was to end police brutality. I had attorneys all over America where people can just, when they get pulled over by the cops, press a button and let the attorney talk to police. That's called Justice Now. I created that shit in 2015. Door got kicked in as an activist and I let it go. I created an outreach program to feed the homeless. I have a database of veterans that I was helping. Built a technology company to help veterans get to back and forth to the vet. Because they was left on the street homeless. Without a ride. After fighting for this country. That's called Safe Trip. Just giving y'all a little insight if you knew. Okay? I had to let somebody else take over that company during COVID. And now I'm here now with Hello Plants, which is my ancestors' company that I reintroduced to the world using my science background. I no longer do a lot of this stuff that these activists are just now doing. I've already been there, done that. I've been on the front line of rallies. Been there, done that. This stuff is about land, period. Trust me. I want to put my singing career, I want to put my tech career on the line for this stuff if I know this stuff wasn't true. It's about land. It's all about land. And the reason that I'm so passionate about it now, because I look at faces that look like me being targeted. Religious killings, killing the son, and then 8 years later, killing the dad the same way. Or waiting for a specific date to kill a person. And they're heirs to property. This shit ain't finna happen on my watch. On my physical or spiritual watch. My spiritual watch don't die. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over this shit. Being mistreated. I'm over it. I'm over it. I fight fire with fire. And you all need to do the same thing. Because I started doing this activism work based on how other people were being treated. Not based on how I was being treated. Not based on how my family was being treated. I started doing this based on how other people were being treated. Because I ain't like it. I don't like it. So, I'll see y'all on next week. No, I'll probably see y'all this weekend. I'll probably come back on here Friday or Saturday. Probably Saturday. I'll be all the way calm. No. We got a lot to get done, guys. And I don't want to see, I just don't want to see us lose. I don't want to see us lose this fight. Nobody want to call this a war, but like these media people are saying on Fox and CNN and all these places, they saying, oh, this is remnants of World War III. You goddamn right. This is World War III. The goddamn little Peckerwood came and killed all them people. Y'all think we gonna forgive and forget that shit? And then don't want us to speak out about it online. Like we just supposed to be sitting docile while these motherfuckers slaughter people in our communities. Don't tell me about no goddamn black on black crime. I want to hear about the Pepperwood on black crime. That's the only fucking thing I care about. We know how to stop each other from killing each other. But you motherfuckers got a whole plan. Manifestos. Niggas ain't writing fucking manifestos to kill each other. I gotta go. I see y'all later. I love y'all. This series ain't a cute one. It ain't a cute one. I may have to do other shows on in between because it's not a cute one. It's not cute. So I will see y'all this weekend. Like I said, I may put out an email list or a text list or something so that I can just send all y'all a text or send out a text when I'm finna go live or send out an email blast when I'm about to go live because they don't send out my notification because they don't want y'all to hear. If I was on here talking about gun control, put your guns up, guys, and stop violence. And while you the one being shot at, I'd never tell you to put your gun up. I don't never have a gun less than a few inches away from me at all times. I never tell you to put your guns up while you being shot at. Why the fuck would I do that? I'm not gonna be on here talking about gun control, guys. I'm the one that said, hey, go do gun training. I'm the one that provides gun training. You'll never goddamn come in our neighborhoods and shoot up the motherfucking grocery store and we had a clear shot at somebody. And they still breathing. That's just not how this shit got to go. Ain't nothing we can do about these nanoparticles. I don't fucking know how to get these things out of the atmosphere. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't fucking know. But these little son of bitches is all around everybody. And people are getting hit with direct energy weapons. People are not lying. This aneurysm stuff that's going on, this shit ain't no joke. This shit ain't no joke. I'm not willing to tap dance and paint my motherfucking lips white and tell y'all some shit that don't matter right now. I can get on here and be real eloquent. Talking 25 syllable words. My vernacular is extensive. That ain't how I feel right now though. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Because the humble shit is not getting us nowhere. It ain't getting us nowhere. This saint stuff that we thought it was, it ain't. Joke's on us. I'll see y'all later. My Hello Plants clients, y'all have y'all orders this week. And I'll be on here probably Friday night or Saturday, probably more so Saturday. Because don't look like they going to let me even do my Sunday shows. If I think I could do a Sunday show, then I'll probably be on here Friday versus Saturday. But either way, y'all please follow me on IG. So I could probably put out an email list on IG so y'all can see it. Okay, I love y'all. Good night.